Yo, what's up? It's been a while, but we back out here, the Buff Missionary in the house. And I'm going to be talking about my doctoral papers. 2 of them, man. You're getting a double dose tonight. So, as you know, I've been late turning in these papers, but that's kind of how the program flows. The deadlines are more of guidelines, not necessarily hard rules from what I've seen. And I was able to hear from both of my professors today. It was really cool. I got on a flow and I was able to complete my history of mission paper yesterday, draft 1, because there is going to be a draft 2, maybe draft 3, we'll see. But was able to get through all of that, 28 pages, 33 plus sources, 7,400 words, 7,400 plus words. My goodness, it was wild. And was able to submit that. Emailed the professor just to let him know that yes, I sent it in late, but I'm looking forward for his feedback. And he responded within minutes to let me know he was going to check it out. And so I am waiting with anticipation about that. But it'll be good, I think. I had posted a video on the plot twist in deciding to go with Palau as the history of Adventism in Palau as my theme for the paper. And I had some people comment on the video with some really good ideas. So I got to shout out my guy, Orion Anderson, out there in Palau. If he's still in Palau, I'm not sure if you're still there. But he gave me the idea of asking Bilung, the Queen of Palau, my sponsor mom, about just the history and if there was anything recorded there. And I don't know why I didn't think about that before, but when you get so caught up in the paper and kind of the names on the screen, sometimes you forget that you're actually connected to people who can help you with these kinds of things. I had asked some people before, and I think I went through GMM initially, and it was kind of slim pickings. I was able to get the Secretary Treasurer's report and kind of go off of that as I explained in a previous video, but I kind of just stuck with that instead of asking around more to see. And now what's interesting is having submitted the paper and awaiting the feedback, I'm really looking forward to the additional information and insight that I can get from people like Bilung, from my friend Eric, who's out there. This was a really crazy connection. I didn't even think of asking him before, but I said, you know what, let me just throw it out there. Eric is pretty well connected, and so let's see. So I asked him about Willie Nobuo, and I'm not sure if the name is Willie Nobuo or Nobuo Willie. I'm not really sure on that. The bibliography, the source I was using, kind of put it one way, but the way you write sources is the opposite way, so I'm not sure. Anyways, I actually asked Eric about this individual, and he's like, oh yeah, that's my uncle. And so it's like, oh shoot, like I had no idea that people that I know and I'm close with are even that much closer. Palau's not big, so it shouldn't have been a surprise, right? But it was really cool to hear just how close the people that I'm close to are with the people that I'm researching. And it just means that there's higher potential that I could find some really good primary sources to contribute to the draft, to the redraft or the second draft of this paper. So that's really exciting. I turned in my theology of mission paper a while ago, and I hadn't heard anything back from my professor. So I emailed him again today. I was like, well, I emailed for the other one. Let me just email him again today and see what's good. And he responded, and he had a lot of feedback, a lot. There's a bunch I'm gonna have to change with this paper, but I'm glad for it. Like the pointers he's given me are what's gonna help me do well in the class. It's gonna be a ton of work though. I basically have to cut out maybe 60% of kind of my lead up to the story of Peter and Cornelius and the new covenant found in Isaiah, and I need to broaden those. I need to make my paper more of the new covenant and more of the story of Peter and Cornelius. And kind of instead of reiterating one of the points that he said I needed to work on was it seemed like I was kind of repeating the Isaiah covenant just through the lens of the Peter and Cornelius story, as opposed to really developing the themes and showing how they were being fulfilled in that story. And something else that was funny, I think, that he called out was, it's easy when you get your MDiv and you're essentially pastors, being trained to be pastors. And the way that you speak and the way that you talk and write when you preach, particularly, there's a lot of unnecessary adjectives. I'll put it that way. Pastors, y'all know what I'm talking about. We say a lot of, I'm not a pastor. Y'all say a lot of words that you don't really need to say, but you throw it in there because it sounds good, right? And I do the same thing, even though I'm not a pastor, though. I'm not a pastor. But Professor actually called out, like, hey, yeah, you don't really need that for a research paper like this. It's actually supposed to be a little bit more dry and to the point, as opposed to the fluff. Like, it doesn't really help the point or the purpose of what this paper is. So I understand that. And it's gonna, shoot, man, I'm just afraid of how much of my paper that fluff might be. Because, I mean, y'all know how it is. When it comes to a really long paper and you need 9,000 plus words, you trying to throw every word in there that you can find, right? So I got to cut back on that. So it's going to be interesting. I have a lot of work to do. And hopefully this weekend I can really put in, man. And I don't know, because the weekends have been the opportunities that I've had the most time to really go in on these papers. I have this weekend. There's a gymnastics tour next weekend. There might be another weekend before the gymnastics trip to Dominican Republic. So I'm not going to have a lot of time over the course of the next month to really work on these papers as I would really like to. And I'm sure that each of these papers might need 2 weekends. In other words, I'm saying each of these papers might need a good 5 to 6 days worth of more research, revising, cutting out all the stuff, cutting the fat of all the stuff that I don't need for my papers, and really beefing up the areas that need it. So it's going to be an interesting challenge. But hey, this is the doctorate. This is the top of the top. It's the creme de la creme. We out here. So this is what it takes to step up and get your stuff recognized on the highest level. So that's what we got to do. And that's what we about to do. We out here. But hey, that was just a quick update. Feedback, we'll see how it goes. And yeah, looking forward to keeping you posted on these adjustments that will absolutely need to be made. And trust, I gave you the abridged version of my professor's critiques because he had about 7 different things I needed to fix. And it's a lot. It's a lot. But hey, we got to do what we got to do. The show goes on, but it's the learning and the growing, and I'm here for that. So I'm looking forward to taking his words into practice and really stepping my game up out here. First year, man. First year. Just about done. Get these revisions and it's a wrap. 1 year. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I know that doing these things and doing them well are what's really going to help me when it comes to the dissertation and doing that well, so I don't have to do it multiple times. So I really want to key in on taking really good advantage of the pointers and the insight that my professors are giving me, the things that I can look at to improve on these smaller papers, because it's crazy to think, right? A 30-page paper is the small paper compared to the dissertation, which could be more than 100 plus. So it's kind of mind-blowing to think of. But I would much rather get used to honing my skills on a 30-page paper than have to cut out 30% of a 100-plus page paper, because then you're in trouble. But yeah, that's the experience. It's going to be registering for the next classes soon. Man, fun times coming. Let's get it. It's all about learning, all about growing. Like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think down below. And if you know any other sources I might be able to reach out to, by all means, let me know. I'm open. But yeah, until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.